Okay guys, so I had a different video planned to film today, but I woke up, well, I didn't even wake up. I've been up all night reading, finishing this book called Insurgent, and I'm so frazzled right now that another video is just out of the question. I have to talk about this book. It's I I can't even put it into words. I'm speechless. Okay, first of all, what just happened? Okay, if you haven't read Insurgent, turn it off. I'm not going to get hate for spoiling it for you. Turn it off. But I got into a fight with my mom about this. I don't even know what happened. The video, okay, who is Edith? Is that her grandma? I mean, it had to be on her dad's side because her dad married her mom. So it would have to be his name. The video. So they got put in this city to restabilize humanity. So Triss said that Edith looked familiar, so obviously she's related in some way, just because she has family features and the last name, obviously. The whole fandom seems to think that she's her grandmother, but I don't know, because when she was in the room with in the erudite compound and she got sprayed with that smoke, it said she was second generation. So that means that it would probably be her mom. But it can't be her mom because it would be like, hey, that's my mom, not, hey, she looks familiar. You know? And she hadn't married her dad yet, so she wouldn't have the last name prior. It just doesn't make sense to me. That's what I'm saying. And why didn't the erudite want the fence to open? If anything, they would be the ones to want the fence to open the most, because then they could have access to knowledge of the world. They would have more space to research and, I don't understand. But anyway, if anybody has any explanations to these questions I'm asking, please put them in the comments because I am going crazy not knowing. And why were they killing the Divergent if the Divergent were supposed to be a good thing? I mean, I understand that it was the erudite killing the Divergent, and they didn't want the fence to open, so that's why they were killing the Divergent, because it would prevent the fence from opening, but why? I need pizza. I can't cope with this. Everybody's saying that it'll make sense when you read the third book, and I'm hoping that's true, because I can't cope with this. She left. I'm so glad that I read the series when the third book was already written, because I can't imagine how the people who read Insurgent felt and they were waiting for Allegiant. That she left on such a confusing cliffhanger. What? What happened? And if Triss is the only Divergent with 3 characteristics, why wouldn't they wait till Divergent had it evolved to where there were Divergent with 5 of the faction aptitude results? Because that would make more sense, because then they could be all of the characteristics that they wanted for humanity, not just 3, and most people only had 2. I don't understand why they wouldn't wait. Then again, it's Triss, and she wanted the information, so. I'm sorry, I'm really tired, and I'm probably making 0 sense right now. And I don't understand why Triss felt like she had to go behind Four's back and work with Marcus. If she had talked to Tobias and told him, this is what we need to do before we destroy the data. We need to find this video. He would have understood. I mean, he loves her. He would have at least listened. And if not, then she could go work with Marcus. But he would have listened to her and helped her. Why did she feel like she had to go with Marcus? Tobias would have helped. And she could have stayed on the legit side and not got her best friend injured. And why was Kayla betrayed her. I did not see coming. Not at all. That was such a plot twist. That was like Silence of the Lambs when Hannibal was in the ambulance and he pulled off his face mask. What? I mean, that was almost as big of a plot twist as the ending. I mean, I love plot twists, but not that. Caleb was like my favorite character. I liked him more than Tobias. Honestly. Because he was erudite. Why did he choose faction before blood? I mean, I know that's like the thing that you're supposed to do, but what the how did they even like get there? And how would they not remember how they got there? Like, oh, I don't remember being born, but that doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna question it. What are you doing? Like, I mean, it's a great story, but it's not realistic. I like books like this, like the sci-fi, dystopian type novels. It's kind of far-fetched, honestly. But then again, the whole faction system is kind of far-fetched. Although I do kind of like the idea. See, if I was in this series, which is actually like one of my biggest dreams, like if I had 3 wishes, one of my wishes would be to be able to teleport into book and movie worlds. I think that would be so cool to like live in Harry Potter or live, not in Hunger Games, but just like live in books and movies. Like if I was in this book series, I probably would have grown up in Dauntless because my mom, when she was younger, she was kind of out of control. She was a little crazy. So she probably would have chosen Dauntless. I even talked to her about it and she said, yeah, when I was younger I probably would have chosen Dauntless, but yeah. So I would have grown up in Dauntless. But I took a like 16. I know, I'm obsessed. I took 16 aptitude tests online, and I think like more than half of them I got an erudite result, and then on the other half I got divergent for amity and erudite, which I can actually see that because I value friendships. I feel like I'm a pretty loyal friend. But then I definitely think, like, if I had the choice to choose between those two, although I think the amity compound sounded really nice, I definitely would have chosen erudite, even though it's, like, the evil faction. And in the book, they kept, like, trying to describe erudite as, like, a terrible place, and how it was cold, and, like, all this crap about how it was, like, a terrible place. And the entire time they were describing it, I was like, I want to go there. Like, please? But, I mean, those of you who, like, don't know me, I mean, yeah, I probably don't come off as very smart, but I'm actually pretty smart. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm co-valedictorian of my class, so yeah, I definitely would have chosen erudite. Anyway, back to the book. If you want to leave a comment down below about what faction you think you would be in, or what faction you would choose, or what your aptitude test results were, please comment below. I would love to hear it. And if you have any questions about the book, please comment them below, because I just want to have a discussion about this. I'm really confused. Like, honestly. I mean, I understand what it means, but I didn't see it coming to the point where I just don't think it, like, makes sense with the overall plot line. Like, it's such a plot twist that I think it's too much. And Janine, she pisses me off. Like, what the is wrong with you? Like, the accidental divergent deaths. Okay, I can understand where that was coming from, considering she didn't want to open the gates. Like, I can understand how she would kill them, because that would prevent the gates from opening. But she brought the entire society to the brink of mass extinction. I mean, she nearly obliterated the Abnegation faction, and then she tore up the Dauntless faction by splitting it in half and then making them all become serial killers. I don't understand. Like, what crazy thing is going on in your conscience to make you somehow believe that that is moral? Then she involved the Candor faction. Okay, they're gone, dead, mindless serial killers too. I mean, I kind of had hope for Amity there for a little while, because, like, they weren't, like, mindless serial killers yet. And Evelyn, whoever she is, marches in and, like, condemns them for being peaceful. That's what their faction is about. That's like condemning the Dauntless for being brave. Like that's just their natural inclination. Yeah, they remain neutral. That's what they're about. And they didn't even remain that neutral. They tried to step in and keep the peace. I don't think Evelyn should have been a leader. She was not a good leader. She was not a good leader. Because a good leader understands all points of view and can negotiate with a clear mind, taking into consideration those points of views that the other factions have. Personally, I think Johanna would have made a great leader for, like, the entire civilization. Like, all the factions. Like, she should have led the factionless. I would love to see the factionless, like, switch over to her. Because she understands, like, what the other factions are about, and she can understand their points of view, and she's just a very understanding woman. I mean, whenever she meets somebody from another faction, she uses their faction custom to greet them. There's a lot in this book that I don't have time to talk about. There's a lot going on in this book, and it's a great book. I highly recommend it if you've watched all this book and you just saw the spoilers. Still read it. It's great. It really is. Like, I don't think I've ever read a book that I've been more clung to in my life. I read this book in 3 days. Staying up, like, I got like 3 hours of sleep in the past 3 days. Because I've been reading this book like 24/7. I really like this book. So I highly recommend it. And I'm going to go get pizza now to cope with this. Because I'm dying on the inside. Because this book is killing me. And not knowing. And then I'm going to start on Allegiant. Because I need to know. So please like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to comment below what faction you would be in or what your aptitude test results would be, because I would love to know. Also, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, anything that you want to comment on about this discussion, if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, I don't care. Post it below. I would love to hear your feedback because I love book discussions. I love them. I could literally debate all day. Yeah, so bye. Sleepy puppy!